Welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So this video here is a review and demonstration on the Star minigun. Model number is EVO-T 106TF. The fluid needle size is 1.2 mil. So I'm going to start off by showing you the only flaw that I've came across. If you have a look at, there's a little packing gland under here that unscrews over time. Just every time I go to use the gun, I make sure I tighten that up. This gun goes for around $160 to $180 Australian, and you'll find them on eBay quite easily. I managed to pick this one up for $120. That's just because my paint supplier looked after me. And it was definitely money well spent. I don't regret buying this gun at all. It's quite handy for especially jobs like this. This job here is actually a rework. I had already done it once, and the first time I attempted spraying this, I used the full-size gun. I was using the DeVilbiss SGK 600BV 1.4mm, and it's quite tricky to paint stuff like this because of the curves, because obviously a spray gun wants to spray flat surfaces and you're doubling up in those edges, and it ended up running and pulling right up in the base of that chair there. So they were really decent runs, but not to worry, I figured out how to get it right the second time, and this gun definitely did come in handy for this. Being that it's a 1.2mm fluid tip on it, you're still able to get a real nice amount of fluid on while not overloading it, so you're really able to get it exactly where you want it. So I got a really nice wet finish on this, but I didn't overload it in those edges. This gun is ideal for stuff like rims and wheels and stuff like that. If you guys hang around to the end, I'm going to be including some footage of a set of GTS rims that I painted, and they came out real nice. And because of the size of the air cap is quite small, you don't get too much overspray, so you're getting most of that paint onto the surface that you want to get it onto. So you may have noticed that I'm also running a regulator on it too. That was reading 40 psi. Now, it may sound quite high, but because of the size of the air cap, it's quite small. It means that you need to get a nice amount of air pressure. So obviously, the lower the volume of air, the higher the pressure is going to be. So not as much air is coming out, but it's coming out at a higher pressure. So yes, they are a Taiwanese-made spray gun. Don't let that scare you off. I think that they are getting to the point where they're a little bit better than what they used to be. Look, do be wary when buying spray guns though. They're not all good. Some of them are total garbage. There's some ones on eBay. Look, anything under $100, you're just about guaranteed it's going to be garbage. You might get a couple of good sprays out of it. The seals will blow out, and then you'll blow your money, and you'll actually end up having to get a good one. So as far as the rest of the settings go, that varies. I adjust that fan in and out as I need it. For this job, I had it wide open, but sometimes for wheels, I like to wind it in a touch just to get into some of those tight spots, and then open it up for the flat areas. And just for the fluid, I've got that wound most of the way out. However, same thing, if you're doing some really particular spots, you can either just feather that trigger in a little bit, or you can wind the fluid in so that you physically can't pull it in that far. So that's these seats finished off. Unfortunately, I thought I had the second coat of clear recording as well, but I must have forgot to hit record on my camera, so I did go over and give that another coat of clear. The clear that I was using on these chairs here was some Concept HS clear. I preheated it in a bucket of water because my spray booth here doesn't have any heat in it. It's just a spray booth, not an oven. I got it up to about 50 degrees Celsius and put a touch of rocket in there as well, just the U-Pol paint rocket, which helps dry that paint. But anyway, next up we're onto these GTS rims, and I'll tell you what, absolutely perfect. Anyone who has tried spraying a set of wheels like this with a full-size spray gun before will know exactly what I mean, that they can be quite tricky and yeah, easy to get runs with. Even if you try and wind that fan in and wind that fluid in, they still seem to get a bit too much paint out, and that's mainly to do with the air cap and the size of the holes and stuff like that. So yeah, by shrinking everything down, yet leaving a 1.2mm fluid tip on it, you can still get enough on, but in exactly the right spots. So yeah, these wheels really came up quite nice. I was really happy with the clear I got on them, and yeah, this gun was definitely in my good books after doing these wheels. And again, those chairs totally perfect. I spent about 2 or 3 days on these rims because they were powder coated and had big orange peel all through them, bits of dust, and they just had no gloss to them because it was powder coat. So yeah, spent a long time sanding them down, masking them up, putting the black on, putting the silver on and that. So in the future I will actually be making a video on the entire process of these wheels and the masking and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned for all that kind of stuff. But this video is just about finished off. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, all that kind of stuff. I'm also working on a website at the moment where I can do some weekly blogs and stuff like that on the work that I do. So check out the description in this video if you'd like the links to all that stuff. Now you've finished watching this video, get out there and paint some shit. Thanks for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.